Hey there everybody, it's Thorpian, and in case you weren't aware, Hypixel put out an update for the garden. And in that update, you might not have noticed that they actually put in an idle game. That's right, if you weren't paying attention, the Composter has now been upgraded to become a full idle game. Now what do I mean by this? Well, if you go into your Composter and you click Composter Upgrades, you can upgrade the speed, the drop chance, the fuel cap, the organic matter cap, and the cost reduction of your composter for some amount of crops that increases and some amount of copper that also goes up. Unfortunately, there's no way to buy copper, so you have to get the copper yourself from farming visitors. This means that this is going to take a long time for people to max, but it does make a ton of money when maxed. How much? Well, here's the thing is I did the math, all right? So at the first base levels of the composter, it takes 10 minutes to make one compost and it'll cost you 4,000 organic matter, 2,000 machine fuel, has a max limit of 10 compost, and it'll take 100 minutes to make 10 compost. So in other words, if you math all that out, you'll get about 34,000 per compost if you use seeds, and you will make 208K per hour. Now that sucks. I mean, it's AFK, which is nice, but it absolutely sucks. So how do you make this better? Well, if you max all of these upgrades, which by the way costs like 170K copper and about 2 bill worth of coin items, so not something you can just casually do easily. But once you max this, you can make about 3 mil per hour off of this guy, and he'll last for 5 hours at a time. So that takes a minute and 40 seconds per compost. You make an average of 1.75 compost per cycle, only costs you 1.5K machine fuel, and you can make up to 315 compost before you're out of time. So how do you get from A to B? Well, honestly, it's not that hard. You just have to max out all these upgrades. But which ones? You know me, we like to do things as efficiently as possible. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is organic matter. What do you use for your organic matter? You can use any crop. They all have different multipliers, but the cheapest one is going to basically always be enchanted seeds, because these are always going to be around 480 coins, because that's their flat value to the NPC. So that's what they're almost always going to sell for to the bazaar. And you just buy as many of these as you can, and you use that to fill up your organic matter. Super cheap, super easy, definitely worth it compared to the other crops. What do you use for fuel? You have 3 options. One is going to be Volta, 2 is going to be biofuel, and 3 is going to be oil barrels. Oil barrels are by far the cheapest option. They're also the easiest to get if you're Iron Man. Biofuel is going to be more expensive. There are occasions where Volta could be cheaper than oil barrels. They both add 10,000 fuel, and their auction price is kind of plus minus depending on how much you got. But don't worry about it. Whichever one you use, you're going to get profit, but you definitely shouldn't use biofuel. It sucks compared to the others. All right, so now that we know what the best organic matter and what the best fuel is, what is the best composter upgrade to get? Well, honestly, you're gonna want all of them, but here's what I want to tell you. Fuel cap and organic matter cap will just increase the amount of total time you can AFK. Okay, so I highly recommend organic matter cap as a limit if you're not checking on this often, which most of us probably aren't. Fuel cap, you should always get up to whatever you need to use up all of your organic matter cap. So at max of this, you will not need max fuel cap, which can save you some money because you're gonna have to reload it anyway with organic matter. And save yourself a little time reloading fuel, but honestly, it's not worth the effort to max this one. Just get as much as you need to use up all the organic matter. Cost reduction it's okay. The maximum cost reduction is only 25%. Like this doesn't increase more per later tiers or anything like that. So it's not going to save you a ton of money. It is going to, again, allow you to run the machine a little bit longer. It makes it a little bit cheaper, but it's not as big of a difference. in the money per hour as these other upgrades. And that's going to be the composter speed and multi-drop. So composter speed is going to increase your composter production speed by 20% per upgrade, which is pretty huge. Definitely recommend this one as like your primary one. It is going to be expensive, obviously, but it's worth it because each one of these is going to increase your compost per hour by 1.2 for every single one of these you do. Remember that the organic matter will be used up faster, the fuel will be used up faster. So you want to make sure to balance somewhat these upgrades, but this is going to be probably your top choice. Multi-drop is nice, but it only increases your compost per hour by a much smaller number than this one. There's a 3% increased chance of doubling for every multi-drop upgrade, which means that you will get 1.5% more compost for the same amount of materials in the same amount of time. So this is nice because it does use up the same materials, so it doesn't cost extra materials, but you still only get 1.5%. So it's not that great compared to the 20% increased speed. So this would be my first choice. This would be my second choice. Organic matter cap would be my third, just because that allows you to AFK longer. Cost reduction fourth, and fuel cap, I wouldn't even max it. I'd only go up to whatever I needed for the max organic matter cap. So these are going to be super expensive upgrades. That's why this is, well, an idle game. So you're going to slowly build it up. But the nice thing is that every compost you make is still immensely profitable. Like you're going to double your money or more. In fact, at this point, you're going to get about 2.5 times the money you put in. Prices will probably go down over time, but is still going to be worth it, I think, in the long run. And what's really nice is that you're going to get this doubling of your money. It's going to take a really long time to start, and it's slowly going to get faster and faster and faster and faster, as well as more and more profitable as you get this cost reduction upgrade and the multi-drop upgrade. All right, guys, so that's a quick video about the composter and about how you can upgrade it and how you should upgrade it and the best ways to use it in order to make money. This is great because it does massively make money. It's just rather slow to start. 200K per hour is nothing to write home about, but it can increase up to 3 mil per hour, which is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Especially since it's completely AFK and it just works while you do literally anything else in the game. In case you missed it at the beginning, I'm Thorpian. I'm actually on vacation at the moment, but I set this video to auto-publish. Since my last video, my channel has grown tremendously, so huge thanks to all of you guys for subscribing. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it now. You can go ahead and like this video as well. You guys are awesome, and I just wanted to say thanks. Bye-bye.